sports odi dwuma e ho honorable ya mo adwo mo akwa baba Akoma FM si okumase
do so bro me.
Hello honorable
do so me ya
Erade adom ye ho ye pa na mo nso ye
pa che ho ye papa
de nyame ase honorable na bibia boko parliament sen
Parliament boko the Parliament call recess into as and when I will be here in terms of your committee work no make ka hono na waba Parliament no baba here apart from that boko
Honorable Yamshe say Worker Select Committee on Sports for Parliament. Yate 1 million Ghana cedis be a club bia benya at the beginning of the season. Says Kawi, why if Rabai neba, if the Parliament and if he neba.
Well, and just Abamu for never catch the indication that I get, especially from your last meeting, as far as the Youth and Sports Committee concerned, from the Minister for Sports, it seems to me say a sponsorship package be a free a company called Adisa Productions, and that is the indication I get. I don't know how that can be verified because that was not given to us as an official information, and so we are very much aware that that amount of money is going to the clubs. Of course, in our last meeting at the sports committee, I raised a number of issues as to how this money is even going to be utilized. Because you see, I know, Oshe said, yeah, clubs in the Tianwa. Yes, we crash was a club, media, Mename Bohoka. So, when him said, yeah, I'm a free division, one club we drew Premier League. See, so I drew Hanamwa. If you are giving me money, you leave me to my own wishes as to how I want to spend the money. But I also believe that a club may be for an owner, but there is a greater good. The greater good is that football should be made attractive. Football should be made better for the Ghanaian people. Football should be made in such a way, say, Ghana for any budget football, so that weekends, the best one. Ghanaians are not looking up to Manchester United and after Chelsea ball. There should be a way that Ghana Premiership will be better. And so that is why I believe that it is not enough for 1 million Ghana cedis to be handed to the clubs without any arrangement. There should have been an arrangement, and I made suggestions to the minister that they should look into it because most of our clubs are not paying anything substantial, especially where you can see those times when you are signing fee and then say clubs need to be no to signing fee. Kotoko say bed and CBT signing fee the amount. Name no monthly salary need the between could be 5,000, 7,000. There are some clubs that are not like Kotoko and has. For them, some of the players are even taking about 400 Ghana cedis. Some of them are even taking 500 Ghana cedis. There are some of them to the extent that they are paying 4 months, 5 months in Tianeka. What happens to them? So, if such a player is not having the best of remunerations to be able to give up his best, because Okofi, Nyashin Fan Koma, many papa Busan put him so or team was team A and not team B, Nashi or Babafi, Nyashin Fama, it becomes difficult, and such a person has some emotional trauma or go through, and man give up the best the field. And so I was of the opinion, and this is something that I suggested vehemently to the minister, say, because of the salary structure defects in our football, why don't we have some regulations attached to it so that we know, say, okay, Sikawi Ayokwi, because we don't want to have problems with our security, because we don't want to have problems with our salaries as far as players are concerned. Ibia, you trust Sikawi to us. I feel we now started league on the 12th of September. Salaries of the players there, the teams will commit. So that they are Bosumi Sunya now, and I say Bosumi Baba Sumbia 26, 27, play be a Wogan and Yetianeka. See it with Tianek Omoka says Obian in the arrangement, into player or agreement with you 500 or Yetia 500 the amount. Play or agreement with you 1,000, Yetia the amount based on the agreement that we had with the players, and I said the clubs had with the players. If such an arrangement is not being made, then the clubs may want to say, okay, if there's a club in the Mecca, What that means is that season no cost no players that's what the players security also be a clubs now to find ways and means to beef up their own security and as a transportation arrangement some remunerations to other staff here and then may not be paid. I mean, if there are no regulations and if there are no arrangement, there cannot be a straight jacket kind of doling out of money to clubs without any engagement with the clubs to understand okay, because we want to better our football, and that's what I'm saying, that for a greater good we want to better our football so that our football can rub shoulders with the other jurisdictions like the English Premiership and whatever. You can say no, they're too ambitious, but I mean there are some teams in Africa who are also doing so well. I mean their Premiership and also their league is also doing so well that we need to be able to rub shoulders with. There were some days in the history of football as far as CAF are concerned, Nakotoko, we were able to rub shoulders with Zamalek, we were able to rub shoulders with Al Ali and all that, even though they were paying better than us, for sure, almost Yomu League, But today, the same cannot be said, and so problematic. I am calling for a better arrangement and an engagement with the clubs so that the 1 million Ghana cedis will be utilized in such a way that it will better the football of Ghana, not just necessarily say the Pezikama clubs, and the clubs may not be able to use it the way that will better Ghanaian football.
Okay. I just for your name, Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah, the MP for Old Tafo constituency, or a ranking member. So now, of course, select committee on sports. He is a member. Honorable, one issue where he said that a year, the term of officer, Ekow Edema, the FA president, 2 terms. Nemum Article 37.4. And he say the next Congress proposed Abba so Muko Sisano, Edia 3 terms. The select committee on youth and sports, our parliament, more comment were home, and the same will be become.
Well, I think that it's a shameful attempt by the leadership, or if you like, by the Executive Council of GFA to seek to entrench themselves, or if you like, the president himself in power. Let's remind you, we have a history. Our history is that before 2018, Ghana faced a certain day of shame where our football was, if you like, was swept under the gutters, and it could do 10 years now to say Ghana crowd football near Kanye and because of how football was managed. And so I felt coming from that background, say football ye said there be a problem biano and from Bobia. In 2018-19, we abandoned football and my BBF and the normalization committee at the Bay. Say the normalization committee at the Bay and Okaya, it was made up of personnel from FIFA. So Kayeba. Yes, sir. Okay, said the normalization committee, it was made up of personnel from FIFA.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, it means that whatever statute, that is the GFA statute 2019, the annual, says you about GFA home brand. That statute, FIFA editu, GFA, and so you
Yes, sir.
Now you're then in the cassette. FIFA say. We more 3 times no more call. So the GFA, FIFA president, or nobody me for 3 times, FIFA say. Yes or no? They beat me at 3 times. It is not true. We have to understand that it is only an advice. What I say, it is only an advice. FIFA for Eliama. There's no problem.
Okay.
There is no law. And maybe any law anymore. The man who can say GFA and as a FIFA share member countries, because Ghana is a member country of FIFA.
Yeah.
FIFA maybe anyone share say because President Infantino obet me akọ 3 term GFA president also got 3 term. No. Every federation, Oh, how or Yenemra. That's why I'm saying that when the normalization committee was adopting the 2019 GFA statute, it adopted it based on the fact that it was in consonance with the FIFA statute and as a FIFA regulation. So the FIFA regulations, it was in consonance with the DNA adopted in 2019. Here, because the CGFA president for 2 terms. And remember, that normalization committee adopted that statute to make better our football, to correct the ills in our football, so that day of shame that we had during Kwesi time, Levi and Kubio. And it's from Munyan saying, and we are seeing the 2 terms. Now, let me make this argument to you.
Okay.
Go and check the Kenyan constitution, football constitution.
Okay.
The statute in the bomb plan, Article 37F, which reads, all members will be eligible to serve for a maximum of 2 terms in a position. This is the Kenyan statute.
Yeah.
Into which, like I say, now the Kenya for no. I don't know the 3 terms. The FIFA, XSA, and I say FIFA and say member countries also be in the 3 terms. And that is why I was disappointed when GBC was the one who broke that news and published it in such a way that FIFA 4 it is not true. FIFA to me say member countries say allow your president to be elected 3 times. And that's why I'm reading the Kenyan constitution to you. That all members will be eligible to serve for a maximum of 2 terms in a position. Thereafter, one is free to seek election in a different position. It is all a president Okeku. If a president, I want to mean Zanka say, work of president 2 terms, includes officers are possible. It doesn't happen anywhere. Now, let me take you to the Namibia constitution.
Honorable, before you do that, I said every foreigner bet me say, yeah.
Let me hear the Namibia constitution 3 and 4 no. It talks about the fact that the mandate of the president, the vice president, and 7 members of the executive council is for 4 years. Now we have 4 no. No, as I actually said, the president, vice president, 7 members shall furthermore have been active in football for a period of no less than 4 years. 7 as executive council members shall fulfill the present stipulated in subsection 5 below. Which shows that the membership, and I say, executive council members, they cannot, as the 3 is saying, cannot go for more than 2 terms. So it is not true. The FIFA should be answered in GFA and Congress. Now, Congress, no. That is not true. Let us open up our football. Let us allow democracy to go through our football. What you hear, no mention, new ideas. No, transfer in
Honorable, dear, or more can I say, a clubs nimum and a proposal, Abba, and into a Moko Congress, and Omoko Dihu Juma. The Select Committee on Sports. As a mom presume, me a young baby, and now I'm working in Tisan Echo.
And a medical catcher say, Mom may go if you say, last statute here, a catcher almost say, clubs and so also clubs in a count our count, that clubs. Remember, it is the GFA 2019 statute, and the more can say they are members of GFA. And for that matter, they are given 18 slots, 18 delegate slots at Congress to go and vote. It is because of that GFA statute. That GFA statute is not to make a choice. The normalization committee, on the basis of cure a certain ill in our football, and cure a certain defect in our football. So the whole constitution will have to be ready to say, what you mean about in favor one person when it is going to bring about the same entrenchment that we used to see. Normalization committee, no one per se, or we bear and say, Madam Yajiman. Teacher, media, when I'm in Yasa, we are saying, and I'm in Yasa organ now. If you go 2 terms, I would just walk. You see, it's soon a church from one, a church for my day.
Yeah.
Also, democracy womb. So, democracy no more. And ye.
I will have here. Say, Uba Baba Sports Stadium, my name is a stadium in a go. Say, then you look at the pitch, ye baby, and next season, yeah, 1 million Ghana cedis, Eco Club, a chance, Africa near day. Then I'm a Baba, I say, Nadena, select committee no more share Yafa to bring it back to state. Are you bit me use?
Well, you see, the truth is that Baba Yara, I believe say a ban we will a certain commitment to be able to deal with. And I'm not playing politics with it because I love football. I'm saying a ban will not because of politics. No, I'm just saying that a ban way should be able to show that care. So within the shortest possible time, no. I'm to me, I a patient who baby. Meaning, those times, they can't kotoko. Eko. Other African countries are called or championship. So many LL in Elba. That time you realize that across the Ghana and Egypt in Elbow and I'm that time, no. One thing you have said, the Ghana and Zamalek Kotoko and Zamalek in Elba. You might think say 2 countries in Elbow.
Yeah.
So if Kotoko has been able to qualify to the championship, now on the home matches. Oh, Baba Yara is supposed to do, which is supposed to be the norm. Maybe someone to be more. It's a shame to the team, but by extension, it is a shame to Ghana. Because the countries that are becoming outside Ghana would want to come and have a pitch that is worthy on international standards. You better say Kotoko, and I say better say Dream FC, and I say one of these clubs, and if you are qualified on Mokobo, but as soon as they leave the shores of Ghana, they raise the flag of Ghana high. And that is why I feel that the minority, the select committee of parliament, as far as sports news is concerned, we are interested to safeguard and protect the image of this country. Minister of Sports, in fact, this weekend when we had our last meeting at Sana Yoko recess, I personally raised the matter with him. I raised the matter with him, and I encourage him that as soon as possible. But as a minister, no, mobile because I buy no one budget for the bar parliament. No, I'm not for keepers and shemo. There's nothing like capital expenditure. Goods and services in the crown points as well. Woefully inadequate. It won't mean yashi. But it is bigger than the Minister for Sports in these circumstances. Kofi Adams, but it is bigger than him. And that is why I'm praying that a government headed by John Dramani Mahama should make sure that the Ghana image and integrity Yanwa, they should quickly find a way to resuscitate and renovate the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So that they are must form a new ball on which was a Mokotoko. That is the only time I'll be say, boys say, girls say, bra. When they go to sports stadium, go to almost 10 cities and now 20 cities for her match. At least a feeling and yaje. We should not let Ghanaians lose this kind of entertainment.
But before you debate, obey a buy what you think commodity, Kotoko Africa, on bet me a bo. Baba Yara, who said you may be a shas, a Kotoko Nani came before a year. You bet me a ye be for one ma, Kotoko, you Baba Yara.
I think the best way you have found a buy me show commitment and quadra. And ya did be a bad day, sir. If a buy say, oh, you pay 1 million, be now 2 million, I don't know the amount of somebody, but maximum 5 million, number 3 years renovations now. Then quickly they should do it.
Yeah, Nemum, the third time I need the home commono. Kate, the second time moon away. A man for the Aseno, or no such as your clubs near day. Kate Nijina when you want your cousin address on 3 terms issue we are. The answer now be catching as the FA president.
Well, I can say, whatever you have to do in 8 years, why are you? Let's respect the constitution and the statutes that gave an opportunity for you to be elected as the VFA president. The new normalization committee in Nigeria constitution we are in need. Obesa will amend and also stand to your benefit, to your self-entrenchment as president. No, and can you president of the GFA? We are president of the GFA because that constitution no ene. Obesa will see the trust no. It's a constitution that gave your mandate. So let's respect that constitution. Let's allow football to be maintained, to be sustained, because we are correcting a defect that gave a day of shame to Ghana. That defect that made Ghana look like a country that did not understand football. That made Ghana look as if we were exploiting football and its members and other Ghanaians. And so, if we are correcting a defect, we cannot say that midstream. That cannot be the case. The fact that you have the support of some people, or you have been able to, as it were, coerce, if you have not coerced, you have been able to lobby some people to buy into that idea. It doesn't mean it is right. We have to find a way to make sure, say, what we do 8 years, maybe, we look for the new ideas, but you can also support the person even from behind. You don't need to be president before you're by. In any case, 8 years and I say 6 years, I will be. And said obey and I said you bet me no or ya no. I don't see what is obey me and into a person trenching.
Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah MP for Old Tafo. How about you, Mary? I come from near Chief for Yadasipi, Yamisha on your case. Yes, into your Kwamanoso.